Hiya, and welcome back to Sharpening the Saw, Section 1, Video 2. In this section, I will show you how to download and use a pre-installed virtual machine. We will install Kali from scratch. I will show you how to download and run applications, and we will also have a look at how to start and stop services. Lastly, we will set up our lab. If you are new to Linux, I will show you the basic navigation techniques through Video 3 and 4. But without any further ado, let's go and have a look at pre-installed Kali Linux. So what exactly are these pre-built images? I have to admit, I like using them. They just save you with so much time. And there's only a few configurations that needs to be done. Like, for example, changing the system time. And it is so easy because you don't have to install anything. And you don't really need much skill to do that either. Here's a list of links where you can find these images from, as well as VirtualBox. If you are battling, just use Google. I'll show you those steps as well. So for the demo, we will download and install VirtualBox. We will download the image, and we will install or import that image. So let's go to Google. The first thing that you want to search is VirtualBox. The first link that opens up, select that. And from there, select Windows hosts. If you are for some reason using a Linux distribution, obviously you're going to download the Linux version, but in our case, we're going to go with Windows hosts. Download, and once the download has complete, start the install. It's very straightforward. It's just next all the way to the end. Next, we need to download the pre-built image. So go and Google Kali download, and from there, open the first link, official Kali Linux downloads. You want to scroll all the way down until you see Kali Linux VirtualBox. Download the appropriate one if you have a 32-bit or a 64-bit machine. In my case, I'm going to go with 64. From there, you're going to click on the link that will take you to the Offensive Security download page. Once the page opens up, scroll all the way down until you see that image. Please make sure that you select the VirtualBox images. Otherwise, your image is going to be a little bit wonky. Select the one that you want and download that. To save some time, I've already downloaded these images. So let's go and have a look. Once VirtualBox is downloaded, you want to go to File. And because this is something that's pre-built, it's not a normal ISO image, you want to click on Import Appliance. From there, browse to where you've saved your download. And next on that screen, you want to leave everything as is and click on Import. I will continue with the video as soon as the import is complete. Awesome! Before we start our pre-built machine, there's a couple of changes that we need to make. So right-click on Kali and select Settings. From there, System. On System, you need to be careful. This is going to depend on what you have on your actual machine. So from there, we're just going to alter the RAM. In my case, I'm going to make it 6 gig, and on processor, I'm going to make that 4. Now, at the bottom, if you have an invalid settings detected, you need to go to USB and change it to USB 1.1 and hit OK. Once that's done, start up your Kali virtual machines by either double-clicking or clicking on the word Start. Once it starts it up and you get the blue screen, just hit Enter and your image will start up. Give it a couple of seconds, especially if you don't have a lot of RAM. To log in, your username will be root and your password will be root backwards, TOOR, and sign in. You can close those off. If you are inside your machine and you want to release your mouse so that you can use your base machine, just hold your control and click outside the virtual machine box. From here, we can maximize everything, and guys, I really think that this was pretty straightforward. Go and play around, have a look inside Kali if you've never seen this before. And remember, if you've done something that you shouldn't have done, it is very simple to get the machine back in the state it was, well, before you did whatever you did. All you're going to do is you're going to right click and you're going to reset the virtual machine. In order to do a proper pen test, we have to have a proper lab. So basically, you're going to have a Kali Linux machine, you're going to have a Windows client, and you're going to have a Windows server. Now, how this will work is very, very simple. If you have a router, ensure that your router's DHCP is enabled. That way, each and every machine will get an IP address. Now, to set this on VirtualBox. In VirtualBox, you will right-click on the machine that you have created as we're going to be moving through the course. Make sure that the machine is powered off. You're going to go to Settings, and from there, you're going to go to Network. If you are in fact using a router, you want to make sure that your network is set on a bridged adapter. That way, you will be able to get an IP address from your router on your virtual machine. If you are going to be using a NAT connection, you have to go and give every single machine an IP address. Just a little bit of word of warning, if you do use NAT and you are going to be giving each and every machine its own IP address, please make sure that the IP addresses are in the same range as well as the subnet mask. Also ensure that all these machines can ping one another. Just a couple of guidelines in Linux. In order to ping another machine, it's actually very simple. It's very much the same as in Windows. You're going to open up your terminal, and in the terminal, you're going to say ping and the IP address of the machine that you are trying to ping. Now, this is the ranges that my server is actually giving out. So that way, that's how you ping. If you want to see what your IP is, it's a little bit different from Microsoft. You are going to say if config. That is going to give you your IP address. You can now see that I have the IP address of 192.168.8.107. So remember, ping stays exactly the same, but over here, you cannot say IP config because it's going to come back giving you an error. The command is if config, and that will in turn give you an IP address. Now, if you want to change the IP address and give it something because you might not have a router or you don't have DHCP installed or whatever the case may be, on your right-hand side, you're going to see a little drop down. From there, you're going to go to wired connection again. This is now if you have a NAT setup configured. You're going to click on the little gear over there. And from here, you're just going to go IPv4. You're going to say manual. And over there, you're going to add the IP address. So for example, 192.168.8, mine was 107. And then over there, the net mask, which is also known as the subnet mask, which is 255.255.255 and 0. And if you have a gateway. Should you have any DNS requirements, you're just going to fill it in over there. I'm using a DHCP on my router, so obviously I am not going to be setting anything over there. So please, if you have any issues with your setup, you have to let me know so I can help you out. All of these labs requires either a connection to the internet or a connection to another virtual machine, but essentially there is a connection connecting somewhere. So if you're not going to have your setups done properly, or you might be stuck somewhere, ensure that you contact me so I can help you get that set up. Without the labs, you're not going to be able to learn much from this course. Go and play. Have some fun. Reset the machine if you've done something wrong. Re-import the appliance if you've done anything wrong and you're really worried that you messed things up. This is a safe environment for you to do whatever it is that, well, you want to do. Experiment and have fun. In the next one, we will be having a look at installing Kali from scratch. Bye.